Well, I mean, let's face it, any successful sporting team, they have to have a great coach.
Welcome to the WealthBuilders Podcast. We're so grateful that you join us each and every week. I'm Conrad Metcalfe, and I have the honor and privilege of being the Vice President of WealthBuilders. And I am joined today by our very own Frank Pulley. Welcome, Frank.
Thanks. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
So Frank is an amazing coach. He's both a real estate coach and a business coach and a friend. We just had such a great time, all of us down in Boots on the Ground. And
yes,
your beautiful
awesome.
wife, Becky, was just like family.
Yes, she is.
And that's what WealthBuilders is all about, is family. So it's just so nice to have you here. And I just want to encourage our audience that you are going to learn so much from Frank. Those of you that are in our coaching family know what an amazing resource Frank is. He's also a part of all of our real estate workshops, our business workshops. And he's kind of my go-to, between you, Troy, and Mike. If we've got a question, and Bill, of course.
Oh, yeah.
It's between all of us, we can answer almost anything.
Yes.
But Frank's got so many years of experience, both in business and in real estate. So Frank, today we're going to talk a little bit about the coaching program. We get a lot of questions about coaching.
Yes.
But also just to help people to understand the value in coaching and sort of how we can help you to get moving, whether it's in your business or in real estate. And I love this story about you and Becky. You actually got started in real estate and you knew to do it right, that you needed to go into coaching. How did that all start?
Well, I mean, let's face it, any successful sporting team, they have to have a great coach.
I never thought of it that way
seriously.
before.
I mean, sometimes the team isn't great yet. If they got a good coach a year or two down the line, they become a great team. And without that, even though these guys know their stuff, and I don't care if it's football, basketball, hockey, whatever.
Yeah.
These guys make them go back to basics because sometimes they forget, but they also expand on what they can do, and that's what makes them great.
Oh, I have never put that analogy together, but you're right.
Yeah.
How can you be proficient at a sport without a coach?
You can't. You'll make a lot of mistakes, and you develop bad habits.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're doing those bad habits all the time unconsciously.
Oh, it's so true. We've met a lot of people that tried it without coaching.
Yeah.
And they ran into some issues. And so they're like, okay, this time we're going to do it right with coaching. Frank, just share the story about how you and Becky, got into real estate and why you decided to do coaching.
Well, we wanted to sell our business because we had spent so much time at the business, and we'd been there 22 years, and still a 60 to 70 hour week was a short week. And, a lot of things fall by the wayside, the Lord, your family, just a lot of things. And we wanted to make sure that we were in a business, in an industry that we didn't have to work that many hours, but we still wanted to live a good lifestyle and still be able to contribute and give and that sort of thing. And we looked at a lot of different businesses, and we thought real estate is the one to do. And so we went into that and found a guy named Bill Bronchick that was a coach in the Denver area. And we joined up with him, and we did quite well.
Tell the story about how you were at a real estate conference and how somebody said, hey, I think you need to look in a different direction.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't name names, but I was at my wife and I were at a real estate conference, and it was in town. It was from a coach in Florida. And man, it was high pressure. I mean, it was a lot of money, which that was okay as long as we got that worth out of it.
Yes, the value.
And I called a friend of mine and I said, we're about to write the big check. And she said, don't do it. She said, you need to join Bill Bronchick's coaching program. I said, Bill who? Which is the last time I've ever said that.
And that was 20 years ago.
20 years ago. So we signed up. And we did really well, and we're still doing great. But by 2010, he asked me to help him with the coaching program, and I'm still doing that. And of course, about 5 years ago, was asked to help with Wealth Builders, which is a calling also. And so I just feel like I'm a really lucky guy. I got a great, if you want to call it a job, it really isn't.
I think we're the blessed ones, I think, to have you, Frank.
We're all a family, and we really support one another.
We really do. And, you know, we talk about this all the time. We have plenty to do.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like we need more to do, but we really look at this coaching with Wealth Builders, and we both do the real estate and business as a calling.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we always tell people is, I mean, we're not going to have to worry about where our next meal's coming from.
Right.
But by the same token, we do have to attend to our businesses.
That's true.
And but the coaching, I mean, for me, it's almost like not breathing to not do it.
It's just so natural for you, and you are a natural teacher.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's sort of that call, those gifts, those talents, it's a way to apply it. But what's really unique about Wealth Builders is that we do everything on a biblical foundation.
Yes.
And that's really important because everything we do it's grounded, you know, through Jesus, through the Word of God.
Yes.
And so it's really nice to be part of this Wealth Builders family where we are all filled with faith. We're all in it for the right reasons to be a blessing. And we actually have a pastor on each of our teams.
We do.
So Mike Davis, who is also amazing. You've seen him on the podcast. Yeah. He's a pastor on the real estate coaching. And then my husband, Dave, is the pastor on the business coaching. And it's really important to have that biblical foundation. But Billy and Becky are committed, and where they were like, this is what Wealth Builders is to give people the how-tos.
Yes. Yes.
So it's one thing to hear about real estate, want to do it, and believe God to help you, but there is knowledge and understanding.
Yes.
So Frank, give people a little idea of like what our curriculum is like. What is the year? We sign it for a year at a time, and what do they experience?
Well, they experience, first of all, we have an established curriculum. We talk about, buy and hold properties. What to look for in a rehab. We talk about, dealing with people. We talk about, finding a market. You do a great course, a class on just that, which is good because some people don't find opportunities in their own area.
That's right.
And so we talk to them about that. But what's even better is once they have a deal, we ask them to share that with us so we can kind of dissect it a little bit and make sure that it's going to work well for them. And, the unfortunate part of our job, if it's somebody new, they think they've just found a deal that's, next best thing to sliced bread, as my grandma used to say, and we tear it apart. But, what we do is we make them learn so they're not going to lose. And so they can start to be profitable and thus move the kingdom of God forward. So we really try to help them with all of our mistakes. I mean, even with coaching, all of us have made some errors,
that you all can learn from, so you don't have to make them yourself.
That's right. And Jesus expects us to work for our, for our riches and for what we have.
Right. Yeah. So there's many different layers to the coaching.
Oh, yes.
But what you just described is it's a 12-month initial program. We have an advanced one too, but you have to go through the first one. And twice a month, we have a curriculum where we present as a coach. There's a PowerPoint with it, record, it's live, and we go through those steps with you. It's a formal training. And then on top of that, what you were describing is everybody is dealing with different things.
Yes.
So it's tough in a group situation if somebody's actually looking at making an offer on a deal.
Right.
So then it's really unlimited, actually, times where people are coaching family, they reach out to us.
Yes.
We get on a Zoom. We've been on Zooms with mortgage lenders, with real estate agents, the whole team. And then we take you through an analysis.
Yes.
And it's really important that we give people that personal touch because everybody's financial financial situation is different.
Yes.
They're all looking in different markets.
Yes.
And I just think that is something very, very unique about the Wealth Builders coaching, to have both the formal training and that.
Well, it's kind of customized to every person. You know, we have people that have a lot of money to begin with, and they need a tax break.
Right.
So we, kind of design the program and the properties they buy to accommodate that.
Right.
We also have a lot of people that want to prosper, and they need to build that up, and we tell them how to do that. And, it's a numbers game.
It really is.
And the nice thing is we know the numbers.
We do.
And if you follow the numbers, it's, amongst a lot of other things, it's difficult to get yourself in trouble. But, a lot of people get into something and they don't think where they're at.
Right.
And my wife loves HGTV. I mean, she does, but
Yes.
and it's great for design and stuff.
Yes.
But if you look at the numbers they give, they're not realistic.
Right. They're not realistic. They're kind of more at what we would call a gross level, not a net level.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they kind of believe that. They believe that they pay $100,000 for a property and do rehab of $50,000 and sell it for $200,000, that they made $50,000, and nothing could be further from the truth.
Yeah, that's true. And so the coaching program too, the relationships that people build, it's just like a family. And if you've been listening to or watching these podcasts, we had the Deets on, and then we had the Wardlows on, both coaching in our coaching family. And it's really made a significant difference because they realized to go into real estate, they wanted to do it right. Yeah.
And because it is a family, we provided all of the events, networking opportunities for new students and to meet the alumni students.
Yes.
Because we want them to meet each other, because they can sometimes help one another out.
Yeah, it's so true. And then we find out people become friends. They're out going to dinner, even sharing vacations together. Yes. And it's with like-minded people, which is super helpful, because you want to be around people that believe the way you do, that are going to actually lift you up, not pull you down.
Yeah. One of the things too is there's no reason, if you join the coaching program, not to attend as many of these events as you can.
That's true. Do you want to tell me about that benefit?
Well, all of the real estate events, the business event, the main event in February, if you're a coaching student, you get to attend those with one other person for free for life.
For life.
And that is just... I've never heard of such a thing.
I haven't either.
Any other coaching program. Normally, when it ends, it's like, okay, we bought another $10,000, or adios, and it's not that way.
Do you remember when Billy and Becky told us that we want people to be able to go to these 3 events a year free for life? We were like, what?
We had to pick each other off the floor. All of us did. Like, really? But it was a good choice, and you're right. It's really
the right choice.
Makes the family closer.
It does. And I think, we just view it like if people join the coaching program, they're really serious about moving forward in what God's called them to do. And the whole reason Wealth Builders exists is to help people to build generational wealth and for impact of the kingdom.
Yes.
And so when people invest in that coaching, they're part of that family. These are people that have said, yes, I've heard that sound in the spirit. That's me. And it's just great to be around people that believe that same way.
Yeah. Well, in real estate, like any business, there can be gray areas. Yeah. And we really tell people that we want them to avoid those areas. Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't negotiate a super deal on a home. If the seller is motivated and wants to get out of it. I mean, you're actually helping them with a problem, and it helps you. Right. And so those are kind of the principles that we have the coaching program on. The other thing too, not many coaching programs do you have 4 coaches.
That you have access to.
That you have access to. In many places, the coaching program has 3 or 4 times the price. You have one person. That's not necessarily the name of the person, the big wig. You don't necessarily have access to them, and you're assigned usually a number, and they don't call you unless you call them.
Yeah. And Frank is actually, you're the best at this. If we haven't heard from someone for a while, Frank is so good. He reaches right out to you and just wants to check in to make sure that everything's okay. Do you know, I was at an event this morning. We get a lot of real estate questions.
Yes.
And I had two people come up to me and they were telling me their situation and they were wanting to get advice, meaning, you know, what should I do? But really, everybody's situation is so different.
It is.
And I just let someone know, I said, I'd love to help you, but if I gave you an answer without understanding your entire financial picture, your goals, what's your goals and dreams? Why are you doing this? I just said, I really can't answer it. And I think that's where a lot of people think too. I just want to ask a question to get an answer. But if you don't have someone, a guide with you, like we call ourselves guides, that really digs into everything that's important to you in your entire situation, you're not going to always get the answer that's going to fit your situation.
That's right. And in addition to all the stuff we've told you about, you get lifetime access to Wealth Builders University.
Yes.
And we have a call once a month on that. But that's a great website that's got good business, spiritual, all sorts of just general real estate advice, business advice. And then you also get access to Bill Bronchick's Legal Wiz site. And that's got 22 courses on there. They've all got videos, MP3s. There's a PowerPoint that goes with those on almost every imaginable topic.
Incredible.
And at some point in time, you and he are going to do something on vacation rentals.
We are.
Yes.
And so, thanks for mentioning that, because that's actually coming up in December. We're doing something that's called Vacation Rentals Intensive Seminar. And the tagline is, for fun and for profit, because really vacation rentals are both. But anyway, you can learn more about that. Go to wealthbuilders.org and go to events. And this is a very small group because we want to make sure that we're giving you all that personal attention. There's a lot of reasons to look into vacation rentals. There's tax benefits. Many of you just have that desire to create something beautiful and have hospitality. But along with that, there's a lot of complexities that come with that.
Yeah. The other thing too is, with some coaching programs, you're dealing with somebody that did it 10 years ago.
Yes.
All of us are active in real estate. And of course, Bill Bronchick, he's really active too, but we're in the trenches.
We are.
Right with you.
We're in the game, and that's really important. It's not head knowledge, it's actually experience knowledge.
Is. And sometimes that knowledge comes a little, I don't know. It's a hard lesson. Bill Bronchick said when he first started out, there weren't a lot of coaches. And he said, I've spent over $200,000 on my real estate education, some of it willingly. So
that's a great quote.
Well, if he'd had the availability of a coach, I can't even imagine where he'd be now.
Yeah, it's good. That's the idea too with a mentor. I feel like we mentor people. It's not just about the real estate transaction, but we have people call us and maybe they're dealing with fear. You know? Yeah. You and I really walk through that with somebody.
We do. Yes, we do. Everybody's a little different, and we give everybody personal attention.
We do.
Again, most coaching programs are they're really not personal. Sometimes you get good advice, but we give that along with spiritual and also good basic business sense.
Absolutely. We really care about people. I had someone come up to me today and they just said, they can just tell, we're authentic, we care about people, and we're doing it for the right reasons. And I was like, wow, that was a blessing to me to hear that. But our team is really has a heart for people.
I don't think you can fake that.
I don't think so either.
No, we're all in.
We are.
Yeah.
Do you know another thing too? And by the way, if you want to learn more about coaching, if you want to, I say go further, faster. I also say it's kind of like getting engrafted into the team with Billy and Becky's knowledge, our team's knowledge. There's no reason for you to have to start at ground zero.
No.
Dave and I didn't have to, because we got engrafted into Billy and Becky and learned, and now we're able to help others. But if you're serious about real estate, or you want to really move forward with building generational wealth, we're all about family businesses, and you can learn more about that. Go to wealthbuilders.org, and then there is a category on top of the website that you click on coaching, and we give you a 30-minute consultation because we realize that this is an investment. We even just verify that you've got the means to pay for it. And by the way, most programs, or a lot of programs, are more between like $30,000 and $50,000. We are combined with a nonprofit, and our whole thing is like, we want to make it affordable for you. And so our program is only $14,000 with all those benefits. And we hear from people all the time that they earned back or got back that $14,000 in their first deal.
Yeah, sometimes in one deal that they didn't lose. Yeah, or they didn't, maybe they weren't seeing the opportunity, and we helped them see restructure it a little bit.
See the opportunity. But one of the things that we do, and it is such a fun day, is if you do sign up for coaching, we do something called a quick start. So we have all the people that joined in a similar time. We only do this quick start 2 times a year in person. So you can join coaching anytime, and we do an online quick start with you. And then we invite you to the next one that's in person. So this is an all-day event. We start right away in the morning with some breakfast and coffee. And it's us as coaches. And then Bill Bronchick is usually there. And if Billy and Becky are in town, they're there as well, because they love to meet you when you join coaching. And we give you a good market update, just some insider information. This is what we're seeing. And then we like to have all of you share about what you want out of coaching and some background, because what that does is the people in the room, we learn about each other, and they connect really fast. And then in the afternoon, do you want to tell them what we do in the afternoon?
Yeah, in the afternoon, well, we furnish lunch.
And
then after lunch, we encourage people to network, but you get to meet one-on-one with each one of us. And you're going to get just different thoughts and ideas on how to progress forward. And, we do have people that join the coaching program and have actually done a little bit of real estate.
Absolutely.
But they're thinking about maybe doing some multifamily or commercial, and they still need the coaching. And some people, they're very seasoned, I would say, but they want to go to the next level. And they realize, like, wow, I need some help going to the next level. And then also too, finding that community, that family is something that people would desire too. And you and Troy are really good at multifamily and commercial as well. Yeah, thanks. Well, School of Hard Knocks. No, actually, it's not. It just, multifamily is great, because if you've got a fourplex and you lose one tenant, unlike a single family home, and don't get me wrong, those are great too, but you're only losing 25% of your tenants. And if you're using commercial stuff, which is great, there's just a lot of tax benefits for that. You can do what's called a triple net lease, which the tenant normally will pay the insurance, property taxes, and maintenance on the property. So, and that doesn't happen in your regular residential real estate. So, and that kind of real estate is based on the performance of the property. So you can go in and actually make that property more valuable. And we tell you how to do that. We do. So this is great. I really love talking about our coaching program, and Frank, especially with you, because you've been in this 20 years, and you got started in real estate because you made a choice to get a good coach. And I love that coach is part of the Wealth Builders team, right? Bill Bronchick, which many of you have listened to Bill. The Lord, works in mysterious ways, and we both ended up with Wealth Builders.
I love it.
Awesome.
It's not by accident.
No, not by accident at all.
So we've spent most of the time talking about real estate coaching, and that really is, there's a big opportunity right now in the market, which we want to help people to get in that and do well with this opportunity. But for a few seconds, I'll just share that we do have business coaching as well. And it is a very robust program.
Boy, is it.
It's amazing. We've had a lot of success with people that have gone through it. So if you have a business idea, you're trying to get it off the ground, or maybe you have a business and you need to fine tune it, you need to plan for the future. Business coaching is something for you to look into, and you can find out that information in the same place. Go to wealthbuilders.org and click on coaching to learn more. So Frank, any final thoughts that you want to share with our audience today?
Well, I think if you want to be successful, the first person you need to ask is the Lord.
Amen.
And talk to your spouse or your partner.
Yes.
And, if you decide that real estate is for you, then we're there for you.
That's so good. Great advice. And also, I just want to let you all know that our 10-year anniversary for the Wealth Builders Conference is coming up in February of 2025.
Wow.
You want to be a part of this. There's like a movement almost.
Oh,
there's something happening in the marketplace that we really want you to be a part of this. And to learn more about that, you can go to wealthbuilders.org/events. So thank you so much, Wealth Builders family, for tuning into this podcast. I would just encourage you to share this with people. If there's people you know that are really searching for a way to build wealth and have a heart for God, this would be a great resource for them. So Frank, thanks so much for being a part of this.
Thank you guys for joining us.
God bless and make it a great rest of the day.